This is KGW News at 11.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Tim Gordon, and we start tonight with a really sad story. A Troutdale family of 4 lost their lives after a multi-car crash in Deschutes County. Ashley Graham's talked with neighbors who say the loss is devastating.
A Troutdale family of 4 headed south on Thursday.
They were just going to take their children to see the eclipse. I mean, they were doing a wonderful family outing because they're that kind of people that always wanted to do something for their family.
As their Toyota RAV4 traveled along Highway 97 in Deschutes County, the unthinkable happened.
There was a multi-car crash on Highway 97 in Deschutes County.
Oregon State Police say a Chevy Silverado crossed the center line and sideswiped a commercial truck before hitting and killing the Rutledge family, Gary, Michelle, and their 2 children, Ryan and Kate.
It's devastating. There's not words to describe it.
Cynthia and Mark Jacobson have lived across the street from the Rutledge family for 10 years.
We have a pretty tight neighborhood, and they were very central to it.
They say Gary and Michelle were the type of people you wanted to be friends with.
But they were just wonderful people. They were caring, kind, compassionate people.
17-year-old Ryan and 15-year-old Kate attended Reynolds High School. Both grew up in the Reynolds School District, and classmates knew them for years.
You go to elementary school, junior high, and high school together with those group of kids. You're friends with them, lifelong friends, and it's going to be hard Monday morning.
It's a tragic, shocking loss for the Troutdale community, but even more so for the ones who knew this family best.
Parents aren't set up to bury their children and grandchildren. It's just not in our DNA.
Police say the driver of that Chevy Silverado that hit the Rutledge family was transported to a local hospital with serious injuries. No word yet on if they will be criminally charged. In the newsroom, I'm Ashley Grahams, KGW News.
And we also have an update on a fatal crash from Aloha. This happened around 8 o'clock last night along Southeast Cornelius Pass Road. The Washington County Sheriff's Office has identified the 63-year-old victim as Balbina Andrade of Hillsborough. The Sheriff's Office says speed and impairment were not factors in the crash. The road was closed for just over 4 hours during the investigation. And a heads up for drivers tonight. That is a live look at the Interstate Bridge from our ODOT camera where road closures have begun on the Interstate Bridge. ODOT says all southbound lanes will close for maintenance work, like checking barrier gates, patching potholes, and maintaining lighting fixtures. Looks like they're still letting some traffic through, so maybe this closure has not begun yet, but it is expected to in the very near future here. And then drivers are asked to take Washington's State Route 14 east to Interstate 205 and the Glenn Jackson Bridge. That's south as an alternate route. The bridge lanes are expected to reopen at 6:30 tomorrow morning. And now to the latest abroad in the war between Israel and Hamas. Tonight, the Israeli military is continuing to warn people in northern Gaza to evacuate and head south. It's a move that is widely seen as an opening step in a massive ground operation against Hamas. Northern Gaza is home to 1 million people, and the United Nations has warned that forcing them out of their homes would be a humanitarian disaster. At least 1,300 people, including 258 soldiers, were killed in Israel in the terrorist attack, and more than 3,300 were injured. And so far in Gaza, more than 1,900 people have been killed, and more than 7,600 have been injured. And be sure to stay with KGW and NBC News for continuing coverage of the Israel-Hamas war. Look for updates here and anytime at KGW.com, on the KGW Plus app, or on the KGW app. Well, switching now to something a little bit lighter for you. The solar eclipse, well, it's come and gone, and it was quite a show. Depending on where you were in the state and depending on cloud cover, you might have seen a partial eclipse or the ring of fire. Alma McCarty traveled down to Eugene in the path of annularity.
The solar eclipse is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
The clouds didn't deter the crowds Saturday morning with their camping chairs, blankets, and eclipse glasses in tow.
I'm excited because I probably won't get to see it ever again.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated with this kind of stuff.
The hundreds expected on the front lawn of the Eugene Science Center showed, including David and Claire, who traveled down from Portland after they heard it was happening on the news.
This is the second time in my life I've seen one. I've only seen once in 2017. The last time I did it, I was pretty young, so I don't really remember much.
No matter if they didn't see it, many telling us they were just glad to get the chance.
It's worth it if we see it. If we don't, then it's fine.
I've been looking at the forecast for about a week, and I was hoping it would break, but it wasn't looking good. But we've got a little peak of sun right now.
So when the clouds parted, ever so briefly as the eclipse reached annularity, the crowd erupted in cheers.
I'm very glad that we saw some of it because there was a very beautiful circle.
So excited when that cheer went up. It just really gets you.
Carl Nelson traveled from Toledo, Ohio to see the annular eclipse as his science center prepares for a total eclipse in about 6 months.
We're trying to get people excited about that, getting them to know how special it is to be in totality. So Science Center sent me out here because I've never experienced an eclipse before. And it was really kind of cool.
Space enthusiasts eagerly captured and shared the evidence of this astronomical event.
We took this picture about 20 minutes ago, and it was perhaps one of the most incredible things I've seen in my life.
All in all, a morning well spent, staring up at the sky, reminded of a common bond, a shared connection.
If there's gonna be another Ring of Fire, I would definitely come to see it.
It doesn't sound like anyone regretted their decision to travel down to the path of annularity or to come out and see the solar eclipse on Saturday morning. And some tell me this has even sparked more excitement for the next eclipse. Several people planning on traveling to the states where it will be visible, from Texas to Maine, in April 2024. Reporting in Eugene, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Also, annularity is a really cool word, isn't it? I mean, it's really something, if you can say it right. Joe Ranieri's here, and Joe, we were talking earlier, neither of us saw the eclipse, but...
No, I had my son's football game, but I could tell something has happened where I was at. The clouds were pretty thick, but I could tell, like, hey, it's still kind of a little dark out here. I mean, I didn't get, of course, reach the full show like we saw several years ago, but still, it's a lot of fun to see, and I've been seeing a lot of pictures on social media showing the eclipse. But this evening, we're kind of done with the rainfall. We've been seeing some light showers here the last few hours or so. We have that weak disturbance that'll be kind of pushing on through overnight, so expect to see some light showers, maybe some light sprinkles early tomorrow morning, but I think really after the sunrise throughout the metro area at least, we're really going to be seeing more dry than wet conditions. This is a first little system. This is more of a bigger system that arrives heading into Monday. With that, it means we'll be seeing some strong winds, some downpours, some thunderstorms, maybe some hail, and potential for some lightning strikes. That doesn't come until Monday, so tomorrow's going to be relatively quiet. We still have some lingering showers out there the rest of your evening, but here we are at 6:30 tomorrow morning, just mostly cloudy skies. Again, some of these clouds will be thick enough where we could be seeing some pockets of some sprinkles and some drizzle. You can see a little bit on the Oregon coast. Those showers will start to move through near Astoria and Seaside. But as we go into the afternoon, we will start to see some clearing. But you travel south near Eugene, Corvallis, you'll be seeing mostly cloudy skies a good part of the day. Here in the metro area, yeah, we are going to be seeing a little bit more of a mix of some clouds and sunshine. So a few showers the rest of the evening, mainly dry tomorrow and warmer with temperatures closer to the low 70s. But a strong front arrives really throughout the morning commute on Monday. That is going to be bringing in some relatively stormy conditions at times to start off the work week. Right now we're seeing a temperature of 59 degrees, and so far rainfall amounts today have been right around 1/10 of an inch throughout parts of the metro area and here in the Goose Hollow neighborhood. It's going to be dry tomorrow, but some rainfall amounts are going to be jumping up to maybe 1/4 of an inch, maybe even higher heading into Monday. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
More rain to come. All right, Joe, thanks a lot. And still